Good morning, students. How are you all? Today's topic is the client server model. The client server model. Okay. See, it is used in distributed system. It is used in cloud computing. Okay. So, so we have to study first of all basic concepts. Basic concepts. Okay. See, the client-server model is a programming paradigm that represents the interaction between processes and structures of the system. Processes that request service are clients, and those that provide service are servers. See, request services. Okay, it is called clients. Okay, and provide services, it is called server. Okay, in any interaction a process is either a client or a server depending on the context. So an association between client and server processes that execute on two different computers, okay, is there. First, this one, okay, it is called client. Okay, and okay, so request, okay, and this one, response. Okay, so this is client and this is server. Okay, so in this case they communicate at the logical level by exchanging requests and responses. Okay, by exchanging requests and responses. Okay, to achieve logical communication, physical messages are sent between these two processes. Okay, a more detailed client server model has three components. First, service. Second, server. And third, client. Okay, service. A service is a software entity that runs on one or more machines. What? A service is a software entity that runs on one or more machines. It provides an abstraction of a set of well-defined operations in response to applications request. Okay, now server. A server is an instance of a particular service running on a single machine. Okay, so how to define server? A server is an instance of a particular service running on a single machine. Next, client. A client is a software entity that exploits services provided by servers. A client is a software entity that exploits services provided by servers. So the important features of the client server model are as follow. First point, simplicity. Second, modularity. Okay. Third, flexibility. Okay, guys. So if we talk about features of client server model, simplicity, modularity, and flexibility. Okay. Now we will discuss corporation, type, and chained server. Chained server. Okay, a A system with one server and one client is not able to provide high performance and reliable and cost-effective services to users. So one server can provide services to more than one client. So in DSO system, there are two different types of cooperation between clients and servers. The first type assumes that a client requests a temporary service. The second one is that a client wants to arrange a number of calls to be directed to a particular serving process for establishing long-term binding between this client and a server. So an example of a service based on this cooperation is printing service. Okay, so let's focus on one diagram. Client 1, client 2, okay, and it is called server. Okay, next client 1 and okay, client I, okay, client I and client N. Okay, okay. So this is called printing service. It is called printing service. Okay, guys. Okay. Now let's talk about multiple servers. Multiple many servers must contribute to the overall application to perform following functions: improve performance through parallel execution of a program on a cluster of workstation, support synchronous distant meetings, decrease response time of database through data replication, support cooperative workgroups, increase reliability by service multiplications. So multiple servers are ready to involve multiple services. Many times simultaneous requests are sent to a number of servers. Okay, so now let's discuss about the three-tier client server architecture. Three-tier client server architecture. Okay, three-tier client server architecture. See, the three-tier client server architecture is the extended client server model by adding a middle tier to support the application logic and common services. This architecture has following three types of components. First, user interface and presentation processing. User interface and presentation processing. Presentation processing. B, computational function processing. Computational function processing. And C, data access processing. Data access processing. First, user interface and presentation processing. These components are responsible for accepting inputs and presenting the results. They belong to the client tier. Okay, it belongs to client tier. Okay, second, computational function processing. These components are responsible for providing transparent, reliable, secure, and efficient distributed computing. They are also responsible for performing necessary processing to solve a particular application problem. These components belong to the application tier. What? Application tier. Okay, now data access processing. These components are responsible for accessing data stored on external storage devices. They belong to the back-end tier. They belong to back and tier. Okay guys, so first user interface and presentation, okay, it belongs to client tier. Second, computational function processing, it belongs to application tier. And third, data access processing, it belongs to backend tier. Okay, now now client server model, client server model as a service oriented communication model. Okay, so if we talk about system services, okay, it is grouped into three categories. First primitive, second system, and third value added. Okay, so primitive services are fundamental mechanisms that reside in the kernel. What? Primitive services are fundamental mechanisms that reside in the kernel. Now system, these services are user friendly and directly communicate with the users. Value added services are visible to the users from the application point of view. Okay, so it was all about client server model. Okay, I hope you must have got knowledge. Okay, and you can focus focus on clouds. You can focus on client server model, that the client request services and the server provide services. Okay, thank you very much. Take care of your health.